What's going on, Rovers? It's Mr. Shalat back with another video. Today we're taking a look at our Automoblox. This is going to be the first part of 6 parts that you have to model for this particular assignment. All right. So the Automoblox truck, much like we talked about in class or on Zoom, all right, we are going to be modeling this entire truck. Okay. 6 of the parts you are going to be required to model. Okay, the other ones will come from me. So this is the first video of 6 on how to model these parts. I'm going to go ahead and share out my screen. All right. And taking a look at the PDF, if I zoom out, okay, first item is the passenger base. So I'm going to scroll down to the second page there. This is what we will be modeling, this green piece over here on the right. This is what holds the little people inside the front section of our car, which is our passenger section. All right. So using all of these numbers here, we are going to create the part. What do we got to do? Well, let me blow up my picture a little bit larger so you can see me as we're going through this. All right. And we're going to start over here in OnShape. When you start up, it's showing you your 3 axes, okay, your front, right, and top. We don't need to see all of those, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the top, turn off the right, okay, and we will just deal with the front as we are used to, all right. So on our front view, I'm going to go ahead and start a sketch. I'm going to select that front view and then rotate my cube. I'm going to come in and we're going to make a rectangle, okay. After we have that rectangle drawn, we have to enter our numbers, okay? So we want to go ahead and throw some dimensions on this. Okay, we got the overall height and the overall width. Let's take a look at our PDF here, figure out what numbers we need. So the overall width is 1.975. We're getting that number from the bottom here. Overall width is 1.975. 0.975. Then the height, okay, we'll switch over. They're saying that that is 1.590, okay, so we'll type that in, 1.590. All right, we are good to go. Now, this particular object has rounded corners, okay? You do not have to go through the process, all right, of rounding these corners over, right? So what you could do, all right, is you could come over here and put one of your center points in, okay? So if I wanted to, I could come over here and drop my center point and dimension to that center point and then draw my arc in, okay? We know how to do that from our previous assignment of the ISO shapes, but we don't have to do that right now, okay? So what we'll do, get rid of that dot because we don't need it, all right? And we're going to use up here at the top, as we come across, right here, okay? It's called sketch fillet, okay? Sketch fillet, and it looks like a rounded corner. That's what we need. So before we go to do this, we're going to look at our drawing and find out what is this radius right here, okay? What is that radius? Well, looking at the shape, they're telling us down here they got the arrowhead coming in, and they're saying that it's 0.2. That's the number that we need to use, okay? So what you'll do is you'll click on that sketch fillet, and you'll select the 2 sides, okay? And you'll notice that it starts putting it in, and the default is 0.25. You're going to click right there and double click on it, okay, so you can edit it, and it needs to be 0.2. So we have that set to 0.2 now. I still have the tool selected. I'll select my next 2 corners, okay. That already puts in the 0.2, all right. And I'll select my next 2 corners. Oh, it got rid of it. So it'll only let you put 2 on at a time. If we go back into our sketch, I come over, I double click on my sketch, and we select that tool again, okay. Let's do that again, Okay, so I'll select the two sides. It puts that corner on there. And then if I select this side in the bottom, it puts the other one on there. So now all four corners all have that 0.2 radius on it, which we need. Okay, but you didn't have to really draw them. It's just one click of the mouse. It's going to bend those corners over. You just got to make sure you have the proper radius. Okay, so moving on, this particular part here is divided up into four sections. So I'll zoom in a little bit more here so we can take a look at the drawing. All right. Now, these four different shapes need to land in certain areas. Okay. So we don't get all of the information that we need, but they give us enough information in order to solve the problem. So when we're looking at this, we need to know where that center point is. But the problem is they don't tell us where that is. There is no dimensions over to that center point for us to figure it out. So what we're going to do is use the information that they give us. All right. And what we know is from one side of the circle over to the other side of the circle is 0.58. Same thing here, 0.58 in that direction. All right. Now, we're going to take that information and we're going to shift over here. Okay. What I'm going to do is, and we'll zoom in, okay, is I am going to draw a box. Okay. Now you might be asking yourself, why would you draw a box? All right. There's always different ways to do this. All right. But this is probably going to be the easiest way for you guys. All right. So what we got to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to draw a box. Okay. The size of that box, these numbers, I'm typing 0.58. Okay. And this one here is going to be, whoop, here I'm drawing a second box. Let's try this again. All right, starting over. We draw our box, okay? Size of our box. After we draw it, we'll go ahead and throw some dimensions on it, okay? It's 0.58. Height is going to be 0.58. All right. Now, we got to get this box located in the top corner here. Now, this whole box that we have, okay, we can go ahead and change this to construction, okay, because this isn't something we're actually going to need. It's just going to help us draw something else. So you highlight the box, right click on it, change it to construction, okay, change it to construction. Now, we're going to dimension this box, all right. So from the top down to the top of the circle, they tell us that that is 0.05. Okay, 0.05. So I'll type 0.05. Moves that box up. And then from this side of the box over to the edge, they tell us that this distance is 2. Okay, is 2. So we're going to use that information, 0.2. All right. So now the box is located in the right spot. It is 0.05 down and 0.2 over. Let's double check to make sure everything is right. Okay. Down 0.05 over 0.02. Okay. So far, so good. Now, our circle is going to end up in the middle here. Okay. So what I would do is we want to get our center point where we're actually going to draw the circle. And I'm just going to come over and I'm going to click roughly where it goes. That is not the right dimension, but I know it's somewhere around there. Then we're going to dimension from the top of the box to that center point. It's going to be 0.58 divided by 2. Okay, and if you type the equation in, it will do the calculation for you. Okay, and then same thing from this side to this side, we have that 0.580 divided by 2. All right, we go ahead and hit enter. And now that center point right there in the middle, that's dead center, okay, of our box. And the box is located in the right spot. So now if I come up and get my circle tool, all I got to do is click on there, pull it out to the edge, all right, and look at the dimension that is already entered for that circle. And you'll see that that's 0.580. Okay, so the first one's done. We had to draw some construction lines. We had to throw some dimensions on there until we could actually get the circle into the right spot. Okay, that's the process that we're going to use moving forward on these other areas. So let's take a look. Whoops. Let's get this back to the right view. All right, next, we're going to draw a box. We're pros at drawing boxes because we just did one. So again, I'm going to come in, draw the box. Okay, dimensions on this down from the top is 0.05, from the side is 0.2. They use the same numbers, so that's easy to remember. Okay, so we'll come in and we'll dimension from this side to here, 0.2, and from the top down to that line is 0.05. All right, good to go. Is the box the right size? Well, we got to find out. We got to get the right dimensions on there. They're telling us that this box is 0.580 wide. They do not give us the height, but we're going to go with that as our height too. Okay, that's not an information that they give us, but it does line up coming straight across. That's a dimension they should have put on this drawing, but they didn't. All right, so we're going to use that as 0.580. So we'll throw some dimensions on this. Okay, 0.58, width 0.58, hit enter, and we are good to go. All right, looking good. Looking real good. All right, now we're going to focus on down here at the bottom for our triangle. Okay, well, for the triangle, all right, the information that they give us, all right, I would like you to use the box method. All right, so what we'll do is just like we drew for the circle, we're going to draw a construction box. We're going to make sure that box is in the right spot, and then we'll draw our triangle last. Okay, so the box needs to be 0.638 by 0.638. All right, and then it comes over from this side, 0.2, and it comes up 0.05. Some common numbers that we've used throughout the project so far. All right, so we'll come in, I'll draw the box. Okay, we'll dimension the box to make sure it is the right size. Okay, so it's 0.638. 0.638. Looking good. All right. Remember that this is a construction line, so you can right click on it, make it construction. All right. If you highlight all of them at once, they will all turn at once. So if I turn those on to construction, now we have our dotted box. All right. Throw some more dimensions on here. We're going to go from the side to here. That's going to be 0.2. All right. And then from the base up to the line, that's going to be that 0.05, common numbers that we've been using. All right. So now this is in the right spot. We now just get our regular line tool and we play connect the dots. So we're going to start here at the top. I'm going to come over. You got to find the midpoint of this. To find the midpoint, you bring your finger over, or your mouse, depending which device you're using. If you're on the iPad, okay, you're just going to slide this down until you see a box appear. See that box? Then I know I'm in the middle. Okay, so I'm just sliding it down, and then, oh, there's the box. So we're going to click there, and we're just going to connect the dots. Okay, we got all of them. Triangle is finished. It is in the right spot. Let's check our dimensions. Okay, so they're saying from here to here should be 0.2. We had that. Came up 0.05. 638 is the height. So we are in good shape. All right, we are in real good shape. Now we shift over to the star. Okay, this one's going to be a little different because we have not drawn a star. And if you look at this thing, there's some construction lines in here, and probably be better if I even zoomed in a little bit more here. Let's take a look at this shape here. All right. So, yes, we see the star. That's our ultimate goal, but we've got a circle. We have a five-sided object, which is a pentagon. All right. We got a center point here that we got to get to. The size of our circle is 0.605. Okay. All these different things. We got a whole lot of stuff going on here. All right. So, how do we start? Where do we begin? All right. Well, we're going to, from the base, it comes up 0.05, and then from the side here, this comes over, okay, 0.2 over to the circle. The center of the circle is 0.605. So we got a lot of different numbers here that we got to deal with. Let's take a look. All right. How I would start this off is we've got our center point. Ultimately, that this whole shape is based around that point. So we got to get to that point. And if you remember up here, to get to that point, we started with a box before we could draw our circle. Probably be our best bet in order to get to that spot to start with a box. All right. So how do we do that? Well, we have to zoom in over here because this is where we're working. Okay. So I will go ahead and start off with a box. Size of the circle is 605. So that's the number I'm going to make this. 0.605. Height, 0.605. From the base to here, it's 0.05. From here over to here is 0.2. Box is in the right space. We got to get to the middle of the box, which is going to allow us to start drawing all those other shapes. Before I begin, I want to make sure that I highlight all of this stuff. I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to make that a construction. Okay. I then come in, I'm going to put my center point roughly where I need it. Just going to be there. We'll dimension over to that center point. So from the side over would be 0.605 divided by 2. All right, and then the same thing here, 0.605 divided by 2. There we go. All right, puts us dead center. So at this point, what we're going to do is come up to the top here. All right, as we come across, we're used to drawing boxes and circles. We actually don't have to draw the circle. Okay, if we come over here to the polygon, okay, there is two different versions. The one that we need, if you're looking at the little picture next to it, is the circumcised polygon. All right, circumscribed polygon. So we'll select that. We're going to click here in the middle. All right, we can go ahead and pull that out. All right, now when you're doing this, ours is 5 sides. Okay, this one, when I start pulling it, the default shape is 6 sides. Just ignore that. That's okay. All right, and what you want to do is where your mouse is, you want to make sure that point ends up being dead center down here at the bottom. So as you rotate this around, see that orange line that's highlighting? I'm going to wait till I get the box, and now I know it's in the middle. So I'm going to click there. All right. Now, after you click, I'm just sliding my mouse from right to left, and it's saying, hey, do you want 3 sides? Do you want 4 sides? Do you want 5? I'm not actually doing anything. I'm just sliding with my finger, okay, or sliding with the mouse. Okay, so if you're on the iPad, you're just sliding with your finger there. So this is the shape I need. I'm going to go ahead and click. All right. Looking back at our drawing, okay, that polygon there, the point of it needs to be touching at the bottom because that's where our star is going to be. Great. We're looking good. All right. We're looking good. So we'll come back over. All of these here, they all need to be construction lines. Okay. So if you deselect the tool you have by pressing escape and you press and drag over top of everything, okay, right click. Oh, it won't do it because of the dimensions. So you're going to have to do it line by line. No big deal. All right. So we'll come over, highlight it, right click, make it construction lines all the way around. Do not leave them object lines. That will create a nightmare for you when you are trying to extrude this. Okay. Construction. All right, we're good. So we have all of our construction lines. We're now ready to start drawing the star. The star is actually pretty easy to draw, all right, if you follow these steps. So you're going to come in with the line tool and you're playing connect the dots. So I'm going to start up here in this corner and I'm going to pull this over to the middle. And when you get the box, then you're going to pull directly straight down from there. It'll kind of like lock in. See how that other one lights up? When that lights up, that's when you click. And then I'm going to connect these 2 points. All right. And then from here, I bring this over till I get the box. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. Okay. You want to make sure you're in the middle. Okay. And just start rotating out till it locks in. Now, I need 0.187. So I'm going to slide my mouse here until it says 187. How do I know that? Well, if we look back at the drawing here, it's 0.187. That's a dimension they give you. They never tell us how long this line is or this line. They don't tell you that. The one that's key is this one. Got to get that one right. Okay. All right. So we're just playing connect the dots at this point. Click to the middle. Line that. Pull it out. Okay. We'll use that common number of 187. And you're just connecting the corners. You got to take your time on this. Okay. One corner, find the middle, pull up. It's not a race. Make sure you're clicking the corners. The biggest mistake you'll make here is that your corners aren't connected. All right. Wait till you get that orange box. When you get these orange boxes, that's when you click because you know your corners are connected. All right. So at this point, shape is good to go. We are now ready to finish our sketch. Notice I did all 4 of these shapes all on one sketch. This is what makes you a good modeler, okay? If you have 4 sketches here, okay, you got to do it all in one, okay? You got to condense them. So I've done it all in one sketch. Hit the green check mark. We take a look at our ISO and say, man, that is some good work. Looking good. All right. Now we're ready to extrude. How much do we extrude? If we zoom out and look at our sheet here, all right, gives us some information. Over here, they're telling us that the depth of our shape is 0.3. So we're going to need that number. We'll choose extrude. And this is why you do it all in one shape. Because watch, when I click on this, bam, does it all at once. You don't have to do it 4 individual times. It's all one extrude. So you got to make sure your sketch is nice. If it doesn't look like this, or you're getting weird stuff down here on the star, okay, you didn't turn those to construction lines. You got to make sure everything's a construction line other than what you want to extrude, okay? The depth of that is going to be 0.3, so I have to change that number there. I'm going to change that to 0.3. All right, we're good to go. Now, if we look back over to here, okay, this says shell thickness 0.01. Well, we know what a shell is because we did that on our previous assignment where we shelled the underneath of our house. Okay, so when we did those ISO shapes, we shelled the underneath. So what we have to do is we have to rotate this cube. Okay, so if I rotate this around over to here, this is the side we need to shell. All right, so you're going to come up to the top and choose shell. All right, so from this side, you come over and it's right here. It's the one that looks like it. It's hollow. It's called shell. Okay. All I do is click on the surface and it's going to shell it out. Now this shell is too thick. They're telling us that the shell on this is 0.01. The default is for it to be 0.1. So as you can see, this is very thick. All right. We're going to go ahead and change this up. 0.01. Hit enter. And now we have that nice thin shell on the inside. Okay, so as we rotate this around, we model and take a look at our great work. Man, this is good. This is good stuff. All right, so we'll click back on our cube, take a look at the ISO. You don't need this front view, okay, of our origin anymore. And we're done. This thing needs to be green. Okay, look at this. We did one sketch, we extruded it and shelled it. That's all the drawing is. It's just all that combined. Now this shape does need to be green. Okay, so to remember to change your appearance, we come down here to parts. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and right click on part, and we're going to choose edit appearance, and then you're going to pick a shade of green. Okay, so something similar to the sheet. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, so if we look at our part, it's green underneath. Good stuff. Okay, so that's our first part. That's the passenger base. All right, if you have questions on how to do this, okay, I urge you to pause, rewind, and anything you might forget, you can go back and watch the video. Okay, one thing you should not be doing, and this is just a reminder, do not play, pause, and rewind while you are drawing the shape. I do not want you to have your phone loaded up or your iPad loaded up next to the computer. Hit play, hit pause, hit play, hit pause, and draw lines like that. That's cheating, okay? This was the instruction. I've given you the instruction. I want you to go do it on your own. You are not learning anything if you are playing the video and drawing the lines as I do them. You're not learning, okay? If you get stuck, you don't remember what I did, that's when you can go back and reference the lesson. Please do not sit there and watch and pause and draw every single line, okay? Please digest everything that I said, give it your best attempt, then go back to the video if you're struggling. Or you can reach out to me on Zoom, either way, all right? I want you to have a great day. Take care of yourself.